Welcome to the Profit Talks podcast, hosted by the Orange County Inland Empire SBDC Network, funded in part by the U.S. Small Business Administration and the California Office of the Small Business Advocate. This show is the go-to resource for business owners seeking empowerment, education, and resources to succeed. Join us as we connect you with experts, share the triumphs of fellow entrepreneurs, and reveal the wealth of assistance available to you today to level up your business. So let's go. Let's dive in and learn more. And what better place to learn than from somebody who's been through the process here at the SBDC and used it to build a business, a very unusual business, if I could say myself. And let's bring her in to talk more about it. We're joined with, see if I get this right, LaTanya Jones. Is that correct?
You did it correctly. LaTanya Jones.
LaTanya Jones. All right.
Yeah.
You created, I smile. I mean, this line says it all. It's like an Uber transportation for pets. Your pet's got to go somewhere, got to go to the daycare, got to go to the vet, got to go to the groomer. This company, Fluffy Transportation, what a perfect name, Fluffy Transportation, was created to serve that need. LaTanya, how did you come up with this idea?
Well, I started Fluffy Transportation. It came from the love of pets, especially the love of dogs.
And that must be your dog in the back there on the logo there?
Yes, that is Bailey. She's my love of my life, along with my husband, of course.
Of course. Yeah, he comes in second, though. Bailey's first, right?
Desire to help pet owners ensure pet travel, safety and comfortableness, getting them to and from either daycare, vets, grooming, even actually picking up pets from the airport. You know, if you go and you want to get a breeder, a particular type of dog, and you're not able to pick them up from the airport, I'll pick them up from the airport and bring them to your residence.
Wow. Let's talk about this, because I'm a pet owner, I admit it, and we spend way too much money and way too much time. I've been to a couple, there's a big pet expo every year at Costa Mesa. I think it's the largest one west of the Mississippi, founded by all these big pet food brands. And the numbers are startling. I didn't look it up before, but the amount of money that we spend on our pets is mind-boggling. Talk about this little thing. You're an example of it. I'm an example of it here. We pamper these pets. And now we have grooming, of course, if you got a big dog like, what's his name, Bailey? Did I get that right?
Yeah, Bailey, she's a mini Labradoodle, so she only weighs about 25
pounds. Oh, a Labradoodle. There's one of those brands. Where did that come from? Everybody I know's got a Labradoodle. They're so cute. All right, so we've got to groom them, and you got to take them to the vet, certainly. You got to get shots. You got to get periodic checkups, and maybe even, what do you do with them during the day if you're working? You
have to include that playtime. Yeah. So that's where doggy daycare comes in.
That's where doggy daycare comes in. So had you been struggling with this yourself? What had you done before this? What was your job? What did you do for work before this?
Well, I'm currently still a flight attendant. I work in the airline industry.
Really? Okay.
Yes, so I'm not home all the time, so I had to find a place where Bailey can go.
Yeah, right.
And I found a daycare out here called Renaissance Pet Resort.
And out here is where? You're out in Beaumont on the way to Palm Springs there. Yeah.
That is correct. And they're right there in Banning.
Okay.
And so she goes there on the regular. They know her very well. But as I was dropping her off and picking her up, I found out that this is a senior community. So a lot of seniors don't want to drive at night.
Yeah, sure.
Or they don't have the ability to bring their dogs in because of a disability, or just don't like driving. You know, they have bigger dogs and they can't handle their dogs. So that's where I came in and was able to pick their dogs up and take them to the daycare when they go on vacation. Or
what a unique thing. Are there lots of, it seems so obvious when you say it, but I have had pets in my 60s here for 40 years, most of my life. And when I was a kid, we had pets too. Never occurred to me there was some place to pick up a pet and take it. And I'll tell you why that makes so much sense, because again, my wife works, I work.
Hmm.
So we've always got, when our kids are grown now, but when they were younger, we had to coordinate who's going to pick them up at school, who's going to take them soccer practice. And many times, what do we do with the dog? Or what do we do with
Right.
the cat? You know, the cat's maybe a little easier to stay home, but the dog, somebody's got to let them out periodically.
Right.
Somebody's got to do something here. And I see people come up with, I don't think, very good solutions. I had a neighbor, I'm sorry to say, used to just keep his dog outside all day. He was a cop while he worked. And
Hmm.
sometimes he worked double shifts. And that poor dog would start howling and barking and crying. And I
And
said,
that's the thing. They need exercise. They
yeah,
need to be around other dogs.
yeah. And
So,
people and whatever, otherwise they just kind of go crazy a little bit here.
mhm.
And I told him that. He said, I don't know what to do. Well, this would have been a perfect example. He said, I can't take him someplace. I can't pick him up. I don't know what time I'm going to come home or what time I'm going to go to work. You know, it's kind of flex shifts and stuff. So this would be that kind of thing. Now, how do you handle it when you're up in the air flying around the world here? You have other
Oh,
people
we
work.
can always text and communicate. My husband helps me with the business. So when I'm flying, he's here driving the pets around to wherever destination needs to be. So we have a family here.
You got a family there. And I'm sorry if my wife said, "Come on, honey, I want you to be part of fluffy transportation." I'd go, "I'm a big, rough, tough guy. I don't know if I'm going to be part." Does he embrace it, or is he like, "Oh,
Yes,
okay, I'm here"?
he supported me from the very beginning of doing this business, and he made sure for me to know that yes, it's your business, but I'm here to help you, support you, and if there's anything that you need as far as my help, he's there for me.
What a guy! What a guy! Shout out to him. What's his name? Here we give him a shout.
Ira.
Okay, shout out to you. What a great husband here. All right, so you saw a need, you stepped into it, but I'm telling you, Latanya, we all see needs. I say, boy, that would be great. That'd be a good business. It's a big step from coming up with an idea to making
Right.
it happen here. So, how did you stumble upon the SBDC for some help? How did you even know that that existed?
Well, I didn't know it existed until one of my good friends, she used them and she told me to go directly to them. They'll give you all the information to
Yeah,
help you learn what to get, how to do it, especially with the licenses in different cities and
absolutely.
state license.
You got to have
I
now.
didn't know.
Do you need special licenses to transport pets? Is there any regulations for that, or?
Yes, you definitely need each city is different, but I'm here in Beaumont and you definitely need a license to transport and they consider it like an Uber
Yeah, right.
transportation for dogs.
And then do you have any issues with you using your car now for a business purpose? Do you have to get different insurance, or you just
Yes, I end up getting a larger van so I can put crates in there.
okay,
So I have an actual
a work vehicle?
business working van,
Yeah,
and you have to get special insurance because you have to cover these pets.
absolutely. I wouldn't be
These
happy
pets
if you
are
picked them
like
up and
kids, the owners.
yeah, and you had a crash with my pet. I wouldn't be too happy about that here. Yeah,
So
exactly.
yeah, I have a good policy, and also I'm certified in pet CPR and first aid. If
There you
there's
go.
any incident that may happen, I'm there and I'm able to
Pets get
handle.
stressed out all the time. I'll bet you see that with airlines. I know lots of horror stories I've heard through the years. People trying to transport their pets, and they get lost. They get shipped to the wrong place, like a luggage, or they just kind of freak out with the noise and the sound and whatnot. It's a very stressful thing to put pets in any kind of transportation thing. But just
Right.
taking my cats to the vet is always a challenge. You know, they freak, especially cats seem to freak. They don't seem to like the movement in the cars as much as maybe dogs do. But so talk about that. How did you learn to transport? Just because you took Bailey around doesn't mean you know how to move everything around. Maybe they're
No,
big dogs, maybe they're angry dogs, maybe they're scared dogs, whatever.
and each pet is different. You have to know the demeanor of each pet that
Right,
you're handling.
right.
So I try to find out what type of dog it is, try to do some research on what kind of demeanor that dog has
Right.
with the parent and with others. And then we go from there.
With the parent. Well, that's not their parent, but I know that's what we
It's,
call them here. It's my dog. It's my pet.
it's their dog.
I'm the parent.
So some dogs are able to be in a cage and other dogs can't. Some gets very aggressive where we
Yeah.
may have to put a
Muzzle,
muzzle on them,
right?
and they're just scared. So you just have
Yeah.
to be patient with the dogs or the cats.
Any crazy animals you've transported? You've only started this, what, last November or something, so you've only been doing it for 6 months here. Anybody have a gerbil or a rabbit or a snake or
No, nothing like that
something
as of
bizarre
yet.
that want to take my snake to the vet here, my 12-foot boa constrictor or something
Right.
here? Could be, could be. You never
Yeah,
know.
could be.
Could
But
be.
no, nothing like that. Just so far we've just been handling dogs.
And how do you advertise this business? How would I know that such a thing? I wouldn't even go look for it because I don't know it exists. So how do you?
You can go on google.com and you can pull up my website, fluffytransportation.com. I'm on Facebook and Instagram. I'm partnered with Renaissance Pets Resorts and Spa. So if you took your
Okay.
dog there, they will give out the information. And also, I've been advertising at Petco, PetSmart, any of the grooming areas
Grooming place. I was going to say, how about vets? Do vets welcome
pets.
this? Because the vet
Yes.
says they want you to
Mhm.
bring your pet in.
Right.
Obviously, they want to give the pet good care. They want to make money off of this thing here. And any obstacle to you bringing the pet in is bad for the pet and bad for them. So,
Yes. So I've been advertising all of that. I do certain pop-ups at different fairs and different things that's in the community. So I'm just trying to get my name out there right now.
all right. So, and you worked with who? You worked with, was it Lisa Napolitano? I think that's who we've done.
Yes,
Go
I
back
work with
into the archives, folks. We did an interview with her. Very, very sharp. She's worked with like some big brands and big companies and stuff through
Yeah,
the
she
years.
was very helpful. She gave me all the tools that I needed. She helped me um, get all the information, told me what I needed to do, and it made it so easy to open up this business.
So did she just help you through the, I don't know, opening, getting a business license, getting a bank account, setting up a business? Did they
All
help
of
you?
that, all of that and above. And then she transferred me over to Hugo, which he helped me with
Hugo's
the
wonderful.
marketing side
We've
of it.
done Hugo, done an interview with Hugo. Listen to that one here too. Yeah,
And he helped me with the marketing because I didn't know how to market it outside of handing out flyers. And
yeah.
he helped me with the Google page, Instagram, the Facebook. And so they've been very helpful.
There you go. So they walked you through this thing, and you launched. And how's it working? Is there a response? Is it a success? Is it still growing and starting?
It's still growing. It's still very new because it's still so many people that don't know that it even exists.
I wouldn't know. Yeah, right.
And so that's why I'm here, just to spread the word that there is transportation out there for your pets if you need it. Um, we welcome any dog or cat. We also coming soon, we'll be doing pet weddings too. So if you
What?
need,
What?
yes,
Come on. Now, what the heck is that? Where the pets get married to each other, or no?
no, if you want your pet in to be in your wedding, like as your ring bearer or something,
Oh
I
yeah.
will take your dog to the groomer, get it all nice and put the outfit on,
The little
and then
basket that they carry or whatever they put
right.
around their neck has a little ring in it. I've seen that a couple times. I haven't seen that a lot, but I have seen that before. Yeah, your
But
dog
the
carries
groom
her.
and the bride, they are concentrating on their wedding.
Yeah.
So they need someone to take care of their dog and then
Well,
take the
particularly
pic.
after, so you go through this cute little thing. The dog walks down the aisle, gives the thing. Now what? I'm getting married up here. There's people around, and the dog's nervous. He's panting. He's got to have some water. He's got to go outside. He's got to go to the bathroom, whatever. Million things. I don't want to be worrying about the dog here
Right.
and what
And that's
happens
where
to
I
him.
come in at. And then I'll take your dog, make sure it's fed, give the dog some water, and then we'll go off and take it to doggy daycare until you
Yeah.
get back from your honeymoon.
See, what a clever, you're coming up with these needs. I never even thought of this because people are fanatic, particularly pet owners. And
Yes,
so if I'm going to have my family there, I better have my child there, my pet there, my little baby here.
exactly.
Exactly. What a clever idea. Any other thoughts for how to do it? Like transporting? I never thought about if you bought, I always just got a mutt from the kennel or, I mean, from the shelter or something here. But you're saying if you really had a special you order a dog, a certain kind of Labradoodle from a breeder, they're going to send it to you because they're not in your local town here, maybe.
Right. We'll go and pick the dog up, or we'll sometimes, depending on the time and where it's at, I can also fly and pick your dog up and do the whole complete
Oh
trans.
my goodness. Well, yeah, because you fly for free everywhere you want to go, so that's not a big deal. You just ride
And
along.
so,
What a clever idea. Yeah, because I want, or let's say I'm moving. I got to move
yes.
across the country,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe I don't want to take the dog on a 12-hour or 4-day drive or something here. Maybe it'd be easier to have the pet transported somehow. Or
That is correct.
maybe got a couple of dogs. This is just not going to be an easy thing. Believe me, I moved across the country with a couple of cats. It was a nightmare. They're screaming and yelling, and every time we got
Right.
a hotel room, we're afraid they're going to get out, and they're all freaked out every time we let them out. It would have been easier just to fly them somewhere here.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're going to go along with them, then they can maybe you
Right.
could hold them in a
You
little.
have
Maybe you could
a
even take them on board, a little if they're small enough or something. You could sit with them or something.
exactly.
Yeah. What
And
a
so,
clever idea. Is anybody else doing this? Do you know anybody? Are you one of many? Or is there a pet transportation association, or are you pioneering something brand new here?
no, there's people out here doing the exact same thing. I have um some people that I know that's in Los Angeles area. There's some in San Diego area, but in my Inland Empire area, there's not one. So I said, hey, this is a need right here.
You should gather them all together after you guys grow, and you should create a little association because with a new idea, there come good operators and bad operators, fly by nights and for real. And I
Hmm.
wouldn't know other than looking at references or whatever here. Do you ever have, maybe this is too crazy, do you ever have special bonding or anything like that or insurance? You
Yes,
have insurance, but
my very first client that I have, Mickey and Bailey, is another Bailey,
another
not my
Bailey.
Bailey, but I have a special bond with them because they've been with me since November.
Right. Yeah, right. So you know them. It's like a pet sitter. It's very hard
Yes.
to. You
Hmm.
should. All these people you've got as referrals. I'm thinking of pet sitters. Lots of pet sitters out there.
Yes.
I'm thinking of vets. I'm thinking of places that sell pet supplies, the Petcos and all. They have bulletin boards and all that kind of stuff. Groomers, dog walkers, all that
Hmm.
kind of stuff. There are all these people there to support you and help you take care of your pets. They might be a reference source for you here.
Yes, and I'm reaching out to all of them.
Fluffy Transportation. Well, I don't have to ask how you came up with the name, but did you ever have any other crazy names? How did you settle on Fluffy Transportation?
Just looking at my Bailey and how fluffy she is and sweet.
Pretty obvious there. Well, it's a pretty
Yes.
cool logo. Did you design it? Did the SBDC help you with that? Or I like the little
No,
wings
I
and everything.
designed that kind of myself. As you can see, Bailey's my logo, and then if you notice, the wings is from my airline business, the
Yeah,
flying,
I like
and so
that.
that's how I created that.
How long you been in airline? What do they call them these days? Still
Flight
call them
attendant.
flight attendant. They don't call them stewardesses anymore here. Right? Flight attendant.
Yeah, for 28 years.
Wow. And so, do you just fly domestically, or do you fly around the world, or anything?
No, right now just domestically.
So,
Mm.
what a crazy. Do you tell the other flight attendant because it's something that you could kind of do? That was the other problem. If you're a flight attendant, you're kind of on
Mm-hmm.
an irregular schedule, right? Sometimes you fly a bunch. Sometimes I don't know how it works. Do you go out Monday through Friday, or is it random shifts you pick up?
It
I don't.
it varies right now. I'm focused on fluffy transportation, so wherever the need is for fluffy transportation, I'll rearrange my schedule for.
There you go. Look at that. Look at that. All right. So, what would you tell people if they were looking for a transportation? What qualities? We'll plug you because you've put a lot of thought into this. If I'm not locally out in Beaumont area, if I'm in San Diego or San Francisco or someplace else, what should I look for in a dog transportation company here?
Well,
What?
the first thing you want to look at the safety of and the comfortableness of your pet being transported to wherever it needs to be transported to. That's the main thing. You want to make sure that the van is clean.
There you go.
You don't want to pick up any disease or anything that
See, I never
can
thought of
cause
that. Right? Exactly. You put a lot of pets in the thing, they're going to there's a potential if it's not sanitized after each run here.
exactly.
Yeah.
And so,
Okay.
and with us, we make sure that everything is clean. and sanitize after each transportation.
That makes sense. Okay, so
Yeah.
that's one. And obviously, you want to look at, I don't know, I got to make sure you're a good driver. How do I know if you're a good driver? Is there any way to check that or anything here? Maybe not.
Well, I'm pretty sure there's a way that you can find. I'm not really sure,
If
but
they've had accidents or something here.
right.
There's,
But I think you just interviewing the person that's transporting your pet, you can get a good
and
vibe.
see how they react to the animals themselves. Do they
Mhm.
like animals? Do they have a bond with animals? Are they just doing this as business? And
Right.
I'm just sticking them in the thing. I don't really care for animals. It's just,
No, you want someone that loves the animals
yeah.
and will take care of them just like they would their own.
Yes, exactly. I would think that would be part of it. And then the other sorts of safety things that they have, the fact that you got, where would you even go get CPR for a dog? I don't even know where to learn about special
Oh,
emergency.
there's classes online. There's classes in your local area. You just have to pull up pet CPR in your particular area because dogs do choke on bones or different things, and you want to know how to do the Hamlet on the dogs.
Yeah.
Any cuts. I know there was a class if your dog get bitten by a snake, what to
Oh,
do.
yeah.
It's just different things that you can prepare yourself for, and anyone can take it. You can just, if you're a pet owner, you can take the class.
And have you ever thought about expanding it into, you say you work with a doggy daycare. Would you ever do, I don't know, where I walk the dog for you or I do other sorts of things, play with them for a while, kind of to take them out and I'll pick
Yes,
them up
we
and
we
do
have that service. I can take your dog out to a
a park or
dog
something or,
doggy park
yeah.
um if you would like, or I can just walk your dog for about an hour if you're not able to. We
Because
have that service on our website.
that's always been the big problem. I don't have a dog. I grew up with dogs. I love dogs. And my big problem is I don't want to leave the dog home all day. Cats can survive, cats will thrive in a house. I think that's why many people are hesitant to get dogs, especially a big dog. The bigger the dog, they really got to go out and exercise. You got to walk them and do something with them. And I see so many people have these big dogs, young families just get a big dog, my daughter included, and
Mhm.
suddenly the dog is chewing up everything. The dog is destroying things and making a mess and barking crazy because it's alone all day long. That's just
Right. If
not
you
good.
train your dog correctly when they're puppies and everything, and be with them, you would have to take out time to train them. They eventually can stay at the house within, 6 hours or so without anyone being there.
Yeah.
But you have to put in that time, just like you put in time for your kids. It's the same thing with pets.
You're their parents.
Yes.
All right. So, Fluffy Transportation. And is this a business that's going to grow? Am I going to see, do you have aspirations to take this to other cities and franchise it or anything like that?
Definitely. Yes, we want fluffy transportation to grow as big as it can get.
Yeah. Because I
Yes.
could think this could be, like there are businesses, there's a Entrepreneur magazine, I don't know if they still do, used to have a franchise fair. They might have stopped it after COVID, but this idea where you come and people line, not just the big franchises, they're expensive, the foods and all that stuff. There are lots of these little do-it-yourself franchises you can do from home, um, pet walking, daycare, and they teach you their system and their name and their reputation and stuff here. And so you buy into one of these franchises and then they teach you the business. I could see you doing that down the road here.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind franchising it out once it gets to that state where it's really big
Yeah,
in
right.
different states. Yes.
Yeah, because that's certainly something that's universal. I mean, why not? It could be anywhere, any place, big city, little city. Everybody's got the same problem. We're all too busy. Most of us have to. Everybody has to work,
Yes.
and even if you don't, as you get old, like for example, you're in Beaumont.
Hmm.
My late parents lived out in Sun City, out in Palm Desert, maybe another
Hmm.
30, 40 minutes from where you are. And pets were a big problem for people out there because they couldn't easily get around. And they were afraid to they could take care of the pet in the house, but now I got to get the pet, I got to get myself into the car. That's not easy. And then I got to get the pet in the car, and I'm afraid it's going to get loose and it's going to get away, and all sorts of
Exactly.
anxiety here of just taking it back and forth to the vet. I know a number of people had issues like that. So they were just asking friends or family, but now you're getting a hit or miss thing. You're getting some kid that's going to help you or some neighbor that's going to help you. And
And
maybe
and
they
just to
really don't
put
know
it
what they're
out
doing.
there,
Yeah.
yeah, and just to put it out there, I also when we think about that and people are not able to handle their dogs, we also provide late night emergency help. Say
Oh,
something happened to your pet and you need to get them to the emergency, but you're at home by yourself,
right.
don't have
And
transportation to
maybe you got
get
a couple of pets or something, or you got little kids or something. There's some other issue that
exactly.
says I
So I
can't.
can come pick up your pet and take them to the emergency for you while you watch your little kids or whatever needs to be done. But
That's another
yes,
value, because I've had a couple of those late night scares where suddenly the pet's going into shock or something here, and we don't know what they're turning blue or something. We're like, oh my God, what do we do? And I did have younger kids, and we had to ground up everybody. That whole thing. Can you imagine? You got a three, or if I got grandkids now. Taking if they stay over, I'm going to take the 3-year-old and the
right.
7-year-old, and I got to get them, and they're hysterical, and everybody's wound up, and the pet meanwhile is gasping for air and some kind of distress or having a heart attack or God forbid or something, and I got to get the pet there. I can't just grab the pet and go.
Right.
And
So
but if I
that's where
called,
I come in.
you can come in. Yeah, so you're kind of you are. It's like an Uber transfer. And how do you charge for this thing? Do you charge by the mile, by the time, by the pet?
We right now we're charging by the radius. We go within a 30-mile radius of Beaumont, California. And depending on what the service, if it's a late night call or if it's just a regular taking your dog to the groomer or to pet daycare, it's only $40 round trip.
$40 to save, to have it done right, have it done quickly. And how quickly can you get there, like an emergency or something, within a half hour or
Within
20
and the
minutes?
emergency hours start after 7 p.m. And once you either email me, you can call me at my number 951, 629
Okay, give that number again in case anybody wants to call you here.
951 629 7984
Okay, and
is
you
what
got that
you
with you
call.
all the time here, and you answer it here. All right, and
Yes,
give us a website and some other pages. How else will they find you?
fluffytransportation.com. You can go to my website and all the information's there. The link to my Instagram and Facebook page is on the website as well, but you can go on Instagram under Fluffy Transportation.
I'm going to go there just to check it out. I got to just see Fluffy Transportation. What a clever idea. What a needed idea. In a world where you think somebody's come up with everything, I can't come up with a new business idea. Here's an example of somebody out of their own experience saw something, a light bulb went on and said, maybe there's a business here. Maybe this is something I can do. Maybe it's a part-time thing I can supplement what I'm doing. Maybe it'll grow into a full-time thing. Maybe I could, if this thing gets big enough, I can franchise it. Who knows where this thing goes? It's an amazing story here. Thank you, Latanya Jones, Fluffy Transportation. Go check it out. I'm going to, just to see what it's all about here. Thank you so much for joining us here on Profit Talks this week.
Thank you for inviting me.
As we conclude another episode of the Profit Talks podcast, we hope we've empowered your entrepreneurial spirit. Reach out to us to connect with our experts, and let's take your business to the next level. Keep those dreams alive, keep pushing forward, and stay tuned for more. And if you liked what you heard in today's podcast and you want your business to reach new heights, just contact us at profittalkspodcast.org or call us at 1-800-616-7232. That's 1-800-616-7232. So until next time, keep thriving.